Hello everyone, welcome to day 26 of my 77-day video challenge. Today we are going to talk about boosting our productivity. Let us see some strategies how we can increase that productivity in our day to day. So I would like to share with you all five things here. So the first thing is all about setting the table. Setting the table is nothing but knowing what we want to accomplish in that particular day or month or week or year, whatever. But let us just make it simple, maybe in a day. Let us see, so setting the table, so being clear about what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So thinking on paper, not just maybe in our mind that these things and multiple things. Instead of confusing our mind in that manner, putting it on the paper is much more effective. We can use a simple notepad or maybe any apps in our phone, that Evernote or maybe the simple note app or anything like that. So just setting it on the paper, setting the table kind of thing, what we want to accomplish in a day. Recently when I was talking to my class, I was asking my students like, hey, what are your goals, what is it you are trying to achieve in this year or in your week or month, whatever. Then they told me something like, I want to get better at so and so, or I want to I want to do more in those things, something like that. I heard those kind of words. So then I told them, you will not be able to measure it. Like if when we say something like, what I want to get better at, or I want to do more of those things, I want to do less of these things, something like that. So then we talked about that SMART goals, SMART, like a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then time bound. So applying that same principle here also. So whenever we are setting the table, we want to set a SMART goal. Hey, specifically I want to do this thing in my day, and measurable, like either I did it or I didn't do it, or it should be achievable. No, and achievable and also realistic as per our skills or our talent, whatever we are trying to do, and time bound. By 6 p.m. I want to complete this, or by in 24 hours I want to do this, something like that. So setting the table is the very first thing. And then second thing is, this is one of the big things, that is planning in advance. So meaning all the success, I'm telling you, all the success of our day lies in just in this item, that is planning in advance. So we want to create a list. We don't want to, again, whenever we are trying to accomplish something, I know we have kept it on the paper as a SMART goal, then we want to create a to-do list kind of thing. And we don't want it a very enormous non-ending list or something like that. Just few tasks, what we want to accomplish in that particular day. Just list out those items. And sometimes we might have the temptation to attempt that simplest one, or maybe not that important one from that list. But over the time, we should cultivate a habit of attempting that most important one in the first half of the day or first few hours of in the morning. Like I'll tell you one example. Before, for example, when I started this learning meditation and everything, I used to write a goal. Hey, I want to meditate for so and so 1 hour or 30 minutes in my day and all that. But never I could accomplish that. And I used to push it till the evening. Or otherwise after dinner I will do something like that. But then as I saw over the time, I'm not able to do it, or I'm not doing it as I want it to be. Then I started very slow, very small, like maybe in the morning before I get into my work or I start my work computer. I will set it for 1 minute, 2 minutes, like okay, just 2 minutes of meditation, and then I'll get to my work, something like that. So then slowly it got improved to maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, how much ever I can do just before starting my work. So that is a habit I have developed over the time. So something like that. Just look into your list also, whichever you want to cultivate in a day. Make it start small and then increase it in increments in how much ever you want to do. So setting the table and then planning in advance with a list. That is two things. Now third thing is, this is when we are working on these goals and when we are trying to be productive. In that process, what happens is, we will understand what works for us, what don't work, also what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. Now, what do I mean by that is maybe some of us might be a morning person. They'll accomplish everything in the morning. Some of us might be, they will be able to be productive in the afternoon or evening or maybe night when the house is calm and everybody, after dinner, everybody went to sleep and now you have your full house, then you are really productive and you will be able to knock out some 2 to 3 hours of work. Some people. So identifying that. So what works for me? Am I at my best in the morning or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is? In this process, we will be able to find that. We will be able to identify that. So once we identify that, then making use of that particular time. Okay, I can do more in the morning or more in the evening, and then I am going to work through my list during that time. So identifying our strengths and weaknesses, what works for us. And then the fourth one is all about finding that kind, I call it as unproductive time, meaning what the time is all about is, like for example, some of us might be commuting to work, either by whatever transport, even we are driving to the work. So in that is like we are not actively doing something except just driving. So maybe hearing some of the podcast or on a topic what you want to listen or what you want to learn, some things like that. Or maybe even at home, like we are doing gardening or maybe doing some chores, dishes or whatever it is, during finding those kind of times. And then it's not multitasking, I would say. We are doing this focusedly, but we are just listening, we are learning something, whatever we want to learn on that particular topic. So finding those kind of things and making use of that time also. Maybe somewhere we got stuck and we are waiting in a line or waiting somewhere at the airport or maybe somewhere. So those times we don't want to lose track of them. We want to make best use of those kind of times, keeping something along with us, maybe a book, maybe whatever, or making a list or planning in advance for the next month or a few months later, whatever it is, writing our goals, smart goals, making use of that time. So finding those kind of opportunities and then making use of that time to accomplish whatever we want to accomplish. That is the fourth one. And last but not least, this is a big one, that is a big momentum. Like what do I mean by that is, once we start doing these things, like for example working through a list, even through it is 3 or 5, whatever it is, each and every day when you start doing them, after 3 days, 4 days, we will be so motivated. We'll feel that such a complete satisfaction that we are being able to do what we plan to do. That will give us that motivation, and that will keep moving forward. So we don't want to lose that opportunity. That is what is, we are on track or we are making progress. That achievement itself will give us that whatever needed motivation or boost our productivity, and then will keep going forward. So we do not want to lose that. So let us get into that big momentum and then keep it going with that also. Maybe we can start with 1 or 2 tasks, if not a big list. Start with 1 or 2, 3 tasks, and once we start doing them every day, after a week or 10 days, then we might be able to build more tasks. And within no time we will find ourselves accomplishing whatever we have set for the day. We might be finishing all those tasks. So those are my 5 things what I typically do. Like maybe I just use a simple notepad or something and write my, setting the table tomorrow or day after or in this week what I want to do, and then I'll create a list of things what I want to, and again not a long list, just maybe 10 to 15 things. And then knowing myself where I am when I work best. Sometimes I work best in the night time when house is calm. So I find that time to finish off those emails or catching up something and reading or whatever, those kind of things I do. And then also I find time like that wherever I'm doing something monotonously, not my actively on that thing. So I'll try to hear something, podcast or something, I'll try to learn in those times. And then last but not least is at least 3 tasks I try to finish in a day, so that will give me momentum to keep going for the next day, something like that. Those are my practices to boost my productivity. But I'm really very sure you all might be having some kind of practices, some kind of strategies in order to tackle your to-do list as well. Please do share with us. Our viewers would love to see them, and maybe who knows, they might be want to follow them in their day as well to make their day much productive. I hope you enjoyed this session. I will see you all in my next. Thank you.